Hey guys, it's Bromos and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be going over the ticker MLSS and why I see value in it and what we can expect to see from this. Let's get started. This was a stock that I made profit from a while back. I originally took a position at around $1.36 because I had noticed at the time that it was due for a move since it had a nice ascending triangle setup, which was also above the 50 and 200 SMA line, and the price was consolidating while volume was diverging. It broke out the next day and I was able to sell at around $1.69 for around a 25% gain. If I had held it longer, I would have made a bigger profit, but I can't complain about making money. Now I believe we have another opportunity at making money from this. Let me explain the story behind the price movement of this stock. Notice how this stock has been moving at an uptrend for quite some time now, almost like climbing up some stairs. Every time that it moves up, it always has a healthy pullback to either the 20 or 50 SMA line. If one was so inclined, they could literally keep adding to their position at one of those SMA lines because not once have we seen the stock price go below both of those SMA lines. We see that it had a pullback below the 20 SMA line, but bounced off the 50 SMA line and closed above the 20 SMA line with a Doji candlestick pattern. That right there is a very strong signal sign that the bulls are in control and this is due for a move up. That is considered confirmation because we just saw it close below with a bullish candlestick pattern and bouncing off our two SMA indicators. Some people would be tempted to jump in right now, and personally, I wouldn't see any problem with that because this stock obeys the 20 and 50 SMA line nicely, which is apparent from previous history. However, a stronger confirmation would be to wait for tomorrow to see if it can break above the body of the doji or its high of day. Looking at the next day, we can see that not only does it do that, but it engulfs the previous candlestick, which is known as the bullish engulfing. That right there is a major indicator in my opinion to buy since we have yet another bullish candlestick pattern that closes above the 20 and 50 SMA line. Had I known about this stock at the time and saw this setup, no doubt in my mind I would have jumped in with almost half my money because it's just such a nice setup. Another nice bonus we can see from this is that it broke above the rising wedge pattern. That would have been a perfect buy right there, in my opinion. But some people would have preferred a stronger confirmation by waiting to see tomorrow's candlestick break the high of day from today's candlestick. It gaps up and moves for about a 20% move before pulling back to the rising wedge and double support bottom. Notice how these supports are in the domain of the 20 SMA line. We can also see that there was a doji bounce around the support area. That is when I decided that I would take a starting position here and add on any possible dips. Now let's talk about some levels to consider. Looks like some levels of support on the daily are $2.20, which is the 20 SMA line, $2, which is psychological, and $1.84, which is the 50 SMA line. If you got in around the same entry as me or considering, then you would be risking around 10 to 18 to 25%, depending on how you calculate your stop loss. I am aware that my risk is a bit higher than usual, which is why I didn't take a huge position in this, especially with the current market condition due to coronavirus. Although it seems that this stock hasn't really been affected by it, given that still following my technical analysis. Some levels of resistance on the daily are $2.60 and $2.80. $2.80 is not a really strong level of resistance, so I'm expecting that to break easier than $2.60. Some of you might be thinking, Bromus, are you really going to sell at $2.60 or $2.80 for like a 5 to 10% gain given that you're risking a lot more than that? Of course not. That is why we're going to move to a higher time frame to see the bigger picture and to calculate the true price target that we should be aiming for. On the weekly, we can see that it's moving at an uptrend and that the 50 SMA line is about to cross over the 200 SMA line. The crossover is one of my favorite bullish indicators, which usually indicates that the bulls are going to push harder. The resistance and support levels on the weekly isn't that much different from the daily, so now let's see what's going on with the monthly chart. On the monthly, we can see that it was in a long-term downtrend as indicated by the falling wedge. However, it broke out of that falling wedge and started moving upwards before breaking out of the ascending triangle. It's important to note that it hasn't officially closed above the ascending triangle until March ends. Until that happens, just be aware that anything could happen here. However, I am feeling pretty confident about this play, especially since the RSI and MCAD are curling upwards. Now let's take a look at some levels to consider. The only real level that I see here for support are $2.20, which is the previous resistance of the ascending triangle, which acts as support now. Because of that, I am more confident that we shouldn't break below $2.20, and if for whatever reason that if the stock goes to around that price, then I will add more around there. If we can break above the $3 level, then we could possibly see $3.20, $3.60, and $4. So given the daily, weekly, and monthly, it appears that we would be risking around 18% for at a chance at around 50-60% gain. As I'm making this video, my current plan is to have my stop loss at around $2 and then aim for at least $3.40. Just remember that my plan can always change and that people need to make their own plan based on what they feel works. I don't mind people using the plan that I came up with, just so as long as they understand the reason behind it. Just to go over what I talked about, the reason I like MLSS is because each time frame shows that it's at an upward trend while holding the 20, 50, and 200 SMA lines. I consider this more of a safe stock because it behaves well in terms of following my technical analysis. This is a long-term play and we should be able to capitalize nicely from this. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you guys enjoy my content, then feel free to click on the subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications on when my next video will come out. Have a great day, friends!